Grogre the Golden Ogre. Grogre, his father, and the Slurm floated and bobbed in their red bubbles into the centre of the city of the Black Ogres. Behind them, Boga was doing somersaults in his bubble, rolling himself downwards into the city. His friends were heading towards one of the huge spiral towers. It was covered with sharp spikes. They had no time to roll away. Their bubbles burst. They tumbled onto the spiral edge of the tower, which was as smooth as glass. They began to slide round and round, faster and faster, down and down into the city. Past bridges and towers, they slid into a tunnel and out into a huge red pool of foam and bubbles in the center of a vast black hall, lit by lamps of hanging fire. Crowding round the pool were black ogres and slurms. 3 slurms, even bigger than Grogre's father, pulled them out. They had no chance to use their swords. A big, fat ogre with 2 heads shouted at them with both his mouths. "A red ogre, a baby slurm, and..." He stared with all 4 eyes. "A golden ogre. The king might give me a present for a golden ogre. To the king, now!" The giant slurms held them on their backs with their tentacles and carried them up long, crisscrossing, madly twisting spiral staircases. In and out of the shadows, black ogres lurched, laughing or shouting. Sometimes they crossed crazy bridges and saw the red pool below them. They came to a great round room with giant open windows, the top of the tower. Black ogres stood all around. The king of the black ogres sat in the middle of the room on a throne of white bones. He was not much bigger than Grogre. He had no neck, arms, or legs, and was covered all over with white pimples. He had one red eye that could move to any part of his body. In front of him, on a small pillar of shiny black stone, were 9 yellow stones fitted to a black metal triangle. The Sunstones. The slurms made Grogre and his father kneel down. The 2-headed ogre began to crawl on his stomach towards the king. "Don't hurt me! Don't hurt me!" His 2 voices shouted, but not together. He was so nervous. "I've something nice for you to kill. A golden ogre." The king's eye darkened. 5 of his white pimples shuddered, and out of each shot a long, white, bony finger. They picked up the 2-headed ogre, tossed him up and down 3 times, then hurled him through a window. The other black ogres laughed and clapped or waved their tentacles. Grogre was horrified, and, although he was very frightened, he said, "Why? Why kill your own ogres?" A thin, mean whisper came from a slit at the top of the king's head. "To show that I alone am king." But then his voice rose to an enormous scream, and his mouth became a great red hole. "I alone am king!" he roared. The black ogres and slurms shuddered and moaned in fear. The king aimed the triangle of stones at the baby slurm. It jumped into Grogre's arms. "Put that slurm down so I can kill it," whispered the king. Grogre was too terrified to reply, but he would not put the slurm down. The king's eye turned black. A streak of yellow light shot from the end of the triangle straight into a big 10-eyed ogre, which vanished, leaving only a little shaking yellow flame. "Put the slurm down, or you will both be next." Grogre's father was getting angrier and angrier. He threw himself at the king. The king's terrible rattling bony fingers seized him, throwing him up and down, and then out of a window. Grogre burst into tears, ran towards the triangle of stones, and pointed it at the king. "Only I can fire the sunstones," laughed the king. "Only I can hate enough. Hate is how they work." Suddenly, Grogre heard a voice calling his name from outside the tower. Bogre's voice. Flying through the window on the back of a bat frog came Ogre, and, still angry, Grogre's father. "Dad's not dead! Caught him!" Ogre swooped and rose. "Great hate fires stones!" yelled Ogre, almost falling off. "Great love's stronger!" Grogre thought of his father, of Ogre, of the baby slurm, and of Zagan. He felt a wonderful, tingling warmth which seemed to run through his body and into the metal triangle. The stones glowed, and dazzling circles of burning energy surrounded the king, who dissolved into hundreds of tiny yellow lights. Ogre's bat frog flew down. The baby slurm jumped onto Grogre, and, still holding the triangle, Grogre jumped on the bat frog's back. Out through the window they sailed. Black ogres on their bat frogs were swarming upwards from the middle tower. "Kill 'em! Kill 'em!" yelled Ogre to Grogre. "I can't hate, not even the black ogres, so I can't fire the stones." "Think of us! Save us! Think of Zagan!" called his father. Grogre aimed. Arrows of light flew into the tower, turning it into a blinding pillar of gold, before it sank, flaming, into the center of the city. The black ogres scattered in fear. "Come on, Brog," growled Ogre. "Brog?" asked Grogre. "Don't know much, do you? It's what these bat frogs are called. Found it hanging upside down. Stole it. Then thought, better rescue you. Caught your dad as he fell. Almost didn't." "Thank you for saving us," said Grogre. "Almost didn't. But said to myself, shall I? Shan't I? Shall I? Shan't I?" "And then you said, all right, all right, all right," laughed Grogre. Ogre was amazed. "How do you know?" Grogre said, "And then one of your horns became golden, just like one of yours, father." It was true. Neither had noticed in the struggle. Even Ogre laughed, he was so happy. They flew towards their village through a golden sky, the slurm asleep in Grogre's arms. Zagan would be well, and soon they would be home.